All right, Dirty Sports, episode 800, Big 800, live on YouTube in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host,
Randy Ruther.
Oh,
get the guy.
That was a good one.
We're going with the double co-host for a few minutes here, Andy. Randy Ruther flew up. He was like, I said I want to be a part of 800, but it wasn't going to work out with the way he was like, the numbers aren't going to work out. Even if the Bengals win a playoff game, I won't be able to co-host 800. And then I was like, well, I guess if you won 2 games, you would co-host 800. And here he is in his Harambe jersey.
I do respect the Harambe jersey. Well, look. You guys got some Miller Lights. I got my kombucha. We'll cheers to 800. We'll cheers to Randy Ruther. I guess we have to start there. I mean, this was an insane divisional round, the craziest we've ever seen. I think.
Might we say it's been the 2 best days of football that we've seen in a long time?
It has been, and it's been crushing for me for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, it was what's crazy is it was every game essentially ended with the away team winning on a field goal. Like they showed before during the last game, the 3 divisional games had been decided by 9 points prior to obviously the 6-point overtime loss of your Bills. A lot of people talking about the Ruther curse, essentially every team you picked failing.
I'm sick of hearing about that shit, for the record. I'm sick of that. I picked the Super Bowl last year. That's not easy to do. I picked the 2 finalists. I picked the champion. Name 5 things that I've cursed. Name 5. I bet you can't do it.
Oh, I mean, not off the top of my head, but I know there are 5.
But like 5 things, like I get picks wrong all the time.
I mean,
sure.
you reverse the curse, and that's why he's here. But you essentially, I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals this offseason, since you jumped off the Bengals bandwagon, they immediately went to shit. Then they got their savior quarterback, and now they won their first ever road playoff game. They won 2 playoff games after you said they're not going to win any playoff games. The Cincinnati Bengals and your Zach Taylor are in the AFC Championship game.
Well, first of all, I said that would be a good game. And obviously we can start there. That was the best matchup for them. I think
100%.
You would agree, right?
100%.
Justin, aka Randy, like that was the best matchup for the Bengals.
They've had the best playoff route that they could have had, including today.
I agree. I like their odds much better against Kansas City.
Those
than
DBs
Buffalo
were getting exposed today, and that wasn't the Bengals receiving core they were against.
Sure.
But I am with you, Andy. Our O-line must have been collecting unemployment checks or something this Friday, like Saturday. They were awful.
Well, let's talk about that too, because here's the thing. We've all been, I'm the king of criticizing quarterbacks who hold the ball too long. Yes. And it was definitely, I would say that was a 5-4 combo, offensive line and Burrow, like just not getting rid of the ball. Like that was a gigantic disaster. I mean, it gave me shades of the Giants game at San Francisco where Eli got sacked 7 times in a win, except I didn't put any of that game on Eli Manning holding the ball. That was like that crazy pass rush that the Niners had, but you bring tons of pressure. The Titans play really well. The offensive line plays bad. Joe Burrow holds the ball too long. Zach Taylor makes some reckless decisions to not have ever one like safety valve guy that's dropping 2 yards off the line and giving him somebody to throw to if he can't get rid of the ball fast enough. But it's crazy. That being said, nine sacks and you win the game. That's bananas.
Most ever for a win. Most ever. And he was at a lot more besides that, obviously. Look, I think there's always going to be the debate, right, of the Sewell and Chase, I think. And I think this game is like an interesting, hey, Chase has a great game. Burrow also gets lit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think almost the debate is brought back where it's like both people could be right on that debate. Obviously looking ahead in the offseason, not that we're doing that yet, but I mean, they got to do something for him.
It's like me at the strip bar. If you're under 300 pounds, we don't need you.
Yeah.
Randy Ruther's here.
Coming in with a Randy Ruther original.
Can big girls get a hooday?
So I wanted to hear obviously what you guys think. To me, that game boils down to it just boils down to Ryan Tannehill. And
no McPherson.
Yeah. McPherson's like Billy Cundiff-esque at this point already. Don't we agree? Like I had zero doubt that he was going to miss that. Like, I think he's that good.
Yeah. And he's doing trick shots in college. I mean, it seemed like a crazy thing. A lot of people shit on the pick, but like you go get a guy in the 5th round and he's just going to make every kick. It's like, great. Like
he's won multiple games for the Bengals this year. Like that.
So he's made 7 field goals. Am I correct? In 2 playoff games?
I think so. 7 or 8. It was one of the 2.
Right. So he had what, 3 or is it 6? He had 3 against the Raiders. And he had 3 again.
4, was it 3 yesterday?
Yeah. So he's got 6 already. He's 6-4-6.
Yeah.
But a lot of coaching decisions in a lot of these games, and I would go back to the Tennessee game. They get the ball right inside the Bengals 10 for their first drive in the second half, just off runs. Mm-hmm. And they throw it. It's an instant pick. Like my thing is, if the running game's working, don't pass the ball.
Well, and that was the thing in the beginning game. I don't know how healthy Derrick Henry was or wasn't. Obviously, he didn't look like the dominant self that he has had in the past, but like what his level, he said he was playing because he felt good enough to play. I was shocked. Like they opened the game, and I was talking to Justin about this. They opened the game with this, the Titans have the ball. CBS has a shot of like Derrick Henry's eyes in the backfield. Like I'm looking in the guy's face mask and I'm like, yeah, this is what I should be looking at. They're going off tackle to start the game, setting a tone, see what happens. They go like play action. He immediately throws a pick. I'm just like it seems like some of these coaches, and McVay was definitely guilty of it today, is like, don't outsmart yourself. Like for McVay today, it's like, keep your foot on the gas. Like, what are you doing? And it just seemed like you have Derrick Henry back. There's this sort of scientific study of, does Derrick Henry make Tannehill better, or does Tannehill make Derrick Henry better? Like, it seems like they're almost like perfectly intertwined in revitalizing each other's like seasons a couple years ago. And you start by like not giving him the ball and then not really giving him the ball in those key situations, or your other running back for that matter. Yeah. I mean, Tannehill didn't play well at all.
Well, I mean, Foreman had 4 rushes for 66 yards. Yeah. Like my point is he had that big 45-yard run. Yeah. Why are you not, if Henry's a little banged up, and he probably was, why are you, because they still rush for 140 yards. Mm-hmm. Like they still, I think, it's those 3 plays and that last interception, dude, take the game into overtime. You're at home. That forced throw, I think Tennessee has to seriously evaluate their situation moving forward.
Because here's the thing, and here's why, because this is your kind of ceiling at this point. And, we had a couple games this weekend, obviously not so much in the Niners-Packers game, but otherwise throughout these playoffs, and obviously Mahomes and Allen are on like a level all their own right now. Stafford is playing great, and Tom Brady's sort of obviously on the decline a little bit. But I would say that every single game, with the exception of the snowy Packers game, throughout 2 rounds has been won by the quarterback.
Sure.
Who's better / who plays better, whatever. It's like, you're now the Tennessee Titans in a conference with Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert. Like, where do you come in? Like, you don't want to have the 9th best quarterback in your conference.
Yeah, no, I agree. So take me through your thought process this game, Justin. Are you like, what's the emotion? The Bengals get out.
They get out that interception. Like,
first play of the game.
I flew back. First off, I flew back Saturday morning to watch it at the Bengals bar here in LA with all my Bengals friends.
Where's the Bengals bar?
Well, it used to be Barney's until COVID on the promenade. We all went to Thunderbird in Santa Monica, and we were all there having a blast. And, you know, we're nervous. It's the Bengals, obviously. But that first interception of the game, like, it erupted in there. Like, we were going nuts. But once again, like we talked about last week, on those turnovers going forward, you can't settle for field goals anymore on those. You need to. The thing that I kept saying was they had to score early and fast. So no matter what, Henry wouldn't even be used in the game. And
Sure.
Henry got what we thought he was going to get. We knew he was going to get a touchdown. We knew he was going to get, I said, 85 to 100 yards. And if you could hold him right there, that's fine, because eventually what the Bengals needed was Tannehill and Burrow to get into a shootout. And we saw what happened with that. But when they were up by 10, I was like, no, we need to be up by more. This is not. And the Bengals got their asses beat in the third quarter. Like, Tennessee was like, okay, we got you guys now. And then in the fourth quarter, it was, you know, like you've brought up many times yourself, the Bengals in the fourth quarter is a little scary, but I'll be damned if they didn't.
But they weren't losing. That's the key stat.
Exactly.
They weren't losing heading into the fourth quarter.
And I said that stat many a times after a few Miller Lights to everybody multiple times. They're like, yeah, you've told us this countless times now. I was like, we cannot be losing going into the fourth quarter.
But that's my number one. Like, that's my Zach Taylor. Like, that's right out of the Andy Ruther. Like, come on, dude, you're a coach. You've never won an NFL game when you're losing heading in the fourth quarter. Not once.
First of all, like, this is where Andy, like,
not once.
This is your dug into your foxhole. The guy took over one of the worst franchises in football. He's been coaching them for 3 years.
Dude, I think again with Joe Burrow, I think we all agree at this point. He's that good. I don't care who his fucking coach is. Like, I think Burrow's that good.
And that's what I tried to say, and that fucker from Detroit said some shit. I said he could have had Urban Meyer and he'd have still been going to the playoffs. And that fucker's so butthurt that Urban Meyer owns Michigan and had to say something. I'm sorry.
But I mean, at this point, you got, like, Andy, we're now in the AFC Championship game in Zach Taylor's 3rd year. Like, we gotta give the guy some credit, right?
Dude,
I mean, Vrabel's a great coach.
Okay, like I brought up last week. Like, do you think Mike McCarthy's a good coach?
No, but what is that?
Super Bowl?
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl, and we have 10. We have how many years?
Because who does he have though? Who did he have?
Yeah, but we're not talking about honestly, 2nd year Joe Burrow is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
All I'm saying is I think if Burrow stayed healthy, I think he, you know, what's the limit for his career? Like I think Burrow is that good. I'm just saying, like, I'm not on this Zach Taylor is a good coach train. I'm just not. So here's the only problem with that. When you say that, it just seems like you've put yourself in this hole where it's like he could never do anything to do that. And when honestly, his coaching resume, since he's been a head coach in the NFL, says that he is. Now you can say he didn't deserve that job in the first place, but he got the job. Dude, he was trying to call a timeout before that last pick.
Yeah. Okay. That's
I'm just saying, like
that has nothing to do with anything.
Dude, I've seen it live. I've seen bad mismanagement that he's done. My point is this: like, you look at these young head coaches, the Sean McVays, the Matt LaFleurs, and to be honest, we don't have to keep going through this. Start naming the list, dude. They all worked up to. They were all coordinators. This guy was holding a fucking clipboard for Sean McVay.
But my point is like, we can talk about, oh, he's got Joe Burrow all we want, but like, where's Deshaun Watson? Where's Justin Herbert with a coach who's not very good? Where, you don't like their draft picks at offensive line. You don't like their draft picks at receiver. You don't like their coach. Joe Burrow single-handedly has them in the AFC Championship game by himself. Russ can't get to the playoffs. Russ can't win a playoff game in Dallas last year.
They know that. First of all, they've made some nice moves, especially defensively. And like I texted Justin during the game, the defense kept them 100%. In that game. Like
Andy and Randy, the Ruthers agreed on that.
Yeah, we were agreeing. Like those signings, those are the guys that came through for the Bengals yesterday. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing there. Like they made some nice moves. And look, football is set up, right? The way it's set up is to when you're bad, like let's say the Bengals were 2-14 and you get the number 1 pick. You're bad, you're Jacksonville. It's basically a socialist system. They want parity within the league.
Right.
Which I like.
Right. It's completely different than being in the NFC Championship game and having like a legendary quarterback and then replacing him with another legendary quarterback and going to the Super Bowl. It's like comparing Mike McCarthy to Zach Taylor is comparing apples to fucking orangutans. Like
but we don't take over know that terrible yet.
Well, we do know that one guy took over a team and won a Super Bowl with one of the great quarterbacks of all time. A team that was already built.
But hold on. Is this not an apt comparison? Aaron Rodgers won that in his 3rd year starting. This is Joe Burrow's 2nd year.
But Joe Burrow was the first overall pick. Aaron Rodgers was in his 3rd year. He sat behind Brett Favre for 3 seasons. They were never a terrible team in the entire time that he was on that squad.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, to that point, real quick, 30 years and they won 2 Super Bowls. That's a fun stat for you between Favre and Rodgers that I saw.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild if you think about it. But let's get back to the Bengals game.
Cut P. Ryan. P. Ryan serves no purpose on this team.
You don't like the 3rd down back?
No. Give us Chris Evans. Chris Evans at least did something. P. Ryan, that was P. Ryan's fault. Joe Burrow's interception. He should have caught that ball.
Did you cry after this game? I want to know that.
No. Someone got a live reaction of me. I was blown away. I was more like a wow moment. Like, I can't believe we're in the AFC Championship.
So
and also after this game, it's like not immediately after, but Justin did celebrate this win extensively. And I got a midnight call last night.
You could say what I said.
He just goes, "I'm in a backyard in Venice and my brother's playing the guitar. I'm on drugs." And I was like,
So, what are your thoughts heading into the AFC Championship? Again, we seem to both agree on this. I think it's a better matchup.
This is who we want.
Yeah.
I text you after the Denver game where I was like, we got the W. It was a nasty game, but here's where we're going to get hot because now we survived it, but there's a lot of errors in this game. And there was a lot of errors in that Denver game, and we just survived it. And since that Denver game, we've been hot. So I think they needed a little reality check going into the final 2 wins.
So I just looked on FanDuel. I'm very shocked at this. The
7?
Early line is 7 for the Chiefs, which I would take the Bengals on.
And I said to Justin, we were watching the game at a bar. I actually disagree with you guys. I actually think that you want Buffalo. Now, the only X factor in that is, like Justin was saying, it could be 40 degrees or 4 degrees or negative 20 degrees in Buffalo, and you're playing, a game there, weather being a factor, but it's not like, weather's going to be that pretty in Kansas City, and their home crowd is, just similar. But like, look at what Kansas City did tonight. I was like, you still have that team, that experience, they have multiple games that they've pulled out like this. I was like, the matchup may be better, but like, it's not that much better. And even Justin was saying, oh, look at, their defensive backs are exposed or whatever. It's like, obviously Kansas City was able to put up more points today than Buffalo was.
Yeah,
but I don't think you want to play the Kansas City. I think Buffalo would agree. I don't think you want to play the Kansas City Chiefs. That's my opinion.
I would argue. I think the weather will be a factor. It will be cold as hell up there. And look, the Buffalo secondary.
But I would almost say like, think about, I bring up the Packers again and my Giants again. Think about the negative whatever game, Favre's last pass as a Packer, the thing. It's like, in a way, when you have two teams, because I think if Kansas City is a 7-point favorite, maybe Buffalo's what, a 6-point favorite or a 5-point favorite. If they had pulled out this game, look at what happened in Green Bay yesterday. It's like, does -20 in snowy Buffalo, does it just even the playing field? And it's like, well, now it's not going to be a shootout. Now it's anybody's game. Jimmy Garoppolo can come out to Lambeau, not throw a fucking positive pass for a quarter and a half and still win the game.
Yeah. I mean, I just think secondary wise, I know the Bills secondary had an epic collapse, but they're just better. I mean, I could see Burrow throwing 400. Like I wouldn't be shocked if Burrow and Mahomes each threw 400 yards. I mean, we saw the shootout a few weeks ago in Cincinnati. And to be honest, that's part of the reason, like, I'm all down, is that I thought a Bills-Bengals matchup would be fun. The Bengals just played the Chiefs. The Niners just played the Rams. Like, I hate to be that guy, but they just played. And dude, the Niners, like, that game pissed me off too. Like, I'm kind of down because I want no part. I really hope the Rams take care of business. I want no part of the Niners in a Super Bowl.
Well,
but I mean, how cool if the Bengals would pull it off? Like, that would
Bengals Niners for the third time.
But like, it would be like Burrow's just coming back. He's getting the playoff win. He's going to go beat the team that they couldn't beat. Like, it would be.
That's what's going to happen. That's knowing my luck.
And by the way, this is, it's all been set up for Andy Ruther's return to the Bengals.
I'm going to send you this jersey.
He won't be wearing it. He'll be wearing a Chris Collinsworth jersey. He'll be like, you know what? This is what I needed to come back to.
The Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl. Mike Brown's going to retire. It's going to be just
dude, I'll tell you what, man. I just can't do it. Like this is me being like dead serious. I won't support the Bengals as long as the Brown family owns them. I think they are. What they did, I don't really think. Like, I just think they don't care enough, and I think you catch lightning in a bottle once every 31 years. And
correct me if I'm wrong here. You know what this kind of reminds me of? The movie Major League. You remember they had the owner who was just trying to destroy the team, but the team was just so good that they were like, "Fuck her! Like, we're gonna go win it all." So Joe Burrow's our Charlie Sheen.
And that's fine, but like, I'm not.
And no one thought Lou Brown deserved the job either. But he came in there and he was like, you know what? I wasn't even a coordinator before this. But I'll tell you what, we're going to win some fucking baseball games.
Jamar is Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah.
I'm not jumping on, man. And I think actually people shouldn't they respect.
I respect that more than someone that jumps off and then it's back on.
It's funny. Like, of course people will like say stuff to me like, oh, you're going to, I'm not like, I'm just like, and I think it was beneficial for me not to be in Cincinnati because it gives a different perspective away, right, from being in there. But like, Pete, dude, trust me, I've had this conversation. You guys can only imagine my phone. Like, I put my phone on silent. I put it away last night.
I bet.
And like the amount of text and shit talking, and everybody wants to like talk shit to me. And I'm like, cool, dude. The Bengals won, and everybody gets mad when I just give facts on how the organization's been run, and somehow that turns me into being all negative Nancy. Like, dude, go celebrate, Cincinnatians. But I view it this way. Kind of how I view politics. Like, at this point in my life, I don't really care about politics per se or the two parties, nor will I ever vote for either. It's kind of like the Bengals situation. Until I see significant changes or an organizational upheaval I'm just not like, I don't want to support that.
Unlike the two-party system, unlike the Democrats, the Bengals didn't just give the reins over to a Hillary or a Joe Biden and a Mike McCarthy and a whatever. They went out, they found their Zach Bernie Taylor. They zigged when everybody thought they were going to zag, and you hated on that. And then what did he do? He took them to the AFC Championship game. Here I am at free college for everybody, and the Bengals in the AFC Championship game
with his mittens.
He's going to need those mittens next week. So Prano,
not as much as I would need them if I was going to Buffalo. We are going to Kansas City. We are going to take down the tomahawk chop. It is racist. We are progressives. We are coming in there, and we're going to eat them. Tiger Indians are no match for tigers.
That's what I say.
I don't want to see you talk about torn right now. This is why I hate this. I do not want to see the Chiefs at another Super Bowl.
So who do you want to see? Who do you want to see?
I don't really care at this point.
Say it. Who do you want to see? Say
it.
No, I'm not saying I want to see.
Come on, say it.
Say it. It'll feel
I'm
good.
saying I don't want to see the Chiefs.
Off your lips.
You don't want to see the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? You want it? You want the NFC Championship game to be the Super Bowl? What are you saying? What are you saying? Say it.
Oh, you want the 49ers back in it?
I'm just
saying. Who do you want to see, Andy?
I'm saying I'm really disappointed how this Buffalo game turned out.
I mean, here's what we have at this point. Here's what we have, and then we're gonna
talk about our discussion we had at the bar about what do you think the NFL does not want to see at all? What two teams?
I think the NFL doesn't want anything to do with Niners Chiefs again. I don't think they want the Niners there.
I think the Bengals are a good, young, exciting team and a good story. So the NFL would like that from a marketing perspective.
Yeah. And I think they want the Rams for sure. But here's what we have left. You don't want the Chiefs in. You want nothing to do with the 49ers. You literally, your phone it'll just be dick pics being sent to your phone if the Bengals get in. Or the reverse curse of Odell. Andy Ruther says Odell is going to come in and everybody's going to get cancer immediately. And
I don't remember saying that, but okay, go on.
And here he is,
another ring,
a valuable member of the Los Angeles Rams.
He's a good number two. You've got me to say that. He's a good number two.
Get it? Odell number two.
Yeah.
All right. He likes girls that poop on him.
Yeah. He no, I know that. He's a good number two. He's a good number two. So
solid number two.
Look, the Rams, I want them to win. And we could have back-to-back teams playing in their home stadium for the Super Bowl. And look, the Chiefs Bengals game, dude, if you had a gun to my head right now, I don't know who I'd say.
Like, who will you be rooting for? In your heart, are you kind of rooting for the Bengals? No, you won't. You'll be rooting for the Chiefs.
Can I just watch the game?
Yeah, you can't. You can't. So let me tell you here. Let me explain to you what happened with me in the Bengals game yesterday. So in the Bengals game yesterday, for me, in my bracket, I pick the Titans. But I'm kind of like, I want this Bengals team to win a little bit. So, but I don't want to like come out and say that because I don't want to curse it for Randy here. Every time I picked the Bengals, they've been terrible. And so I put a little money on it. And I put a little bit of money on the Bengals to win the game. And now I'm like, okay, now I have rooting interest. It's kind of a win-win for me. If the Titans win, it's better for my bracket. But if I win, I outright win money this game because like it's almost impossible for me to watch a football game and not be rooting even a little bit for somebody.
Yeah.
So I think all the hate that you get when the Bengals and all the tax you get, I think you're going to end up rooting for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Well, look, I do have a bet that the Bengals are not going to win a Super Bowl with, again, Zach Taylor and Burrow.
Right.
That's $1,000 bet. So
that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. So with that being said, I would probably then defer to the Chiefs. But dude, I am like legit bummed about that outcome. Like I am bummed for Josh Allen because you only get so many opportunities, and to have two drives like that at the end that he did
Yeah.
because he's so good. And I love his story. I love that he wasn't highly recruited. I love that he went to Wyoming. I love that he's from Fresno, California. You know, it's not like he had all this fanfare behind him. I love his story. I think it would have been great. I hate that they lost. I hate that it's to the team that always wins.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to let Randy give his thoughts on your thoughts there, and then we'll relieve Randy. Randy's going to go ride his Tiger into the night and smoke a fat cigar. He was just doing a little guest appearance. He really wanted to come on and say hi to Andy Ruther, but we'll let Justin talk about that and then say his goodbyes, and then we'll release him into the mist as Tigers roam the jungle.
No, we'll release him into the jungle.
Yeah. Because I'm going to Hollywood and it's kind of a jungle now.
Axl Rose said that for sure.
Here's the one thing I will say. After the game, even Randy Ruther's Twitter account was like, dude, go give it to Andy. You got to give it to Andy. And I was like, honestly, like me and Andy like have the best conversations. Like out of everyone that sends him shit talking, like I'm like, I told him, I was like, this O-line needs to step their asses up next week. Like this is like, it's bad. But I just thought it's funny that he gets all this hate and everyone that thinks where the most hate would come from, it's just civilized conversation.
But you know what's funny too? It's like if you listen to these show, I'm giving how I legit feel. I picked the Bengals to beat the Raiders. I said that I'll slightly pick the Titans, but I think it's going to be a great game. I'm not just out here like fuck the Bengals. I can put my ownership issue aside when we're just talking football.
Yeah.
And I legit feel right now, as we record the show, the Bengals have a really good shot at winning that game. I think that point spread is very high. I think it's too high.
Yeah.
But you're right. They got to protect Burrow. I mean, I've said that all along. So, you know, I don't know if you saw, he in their first 2 years in the NFL, I saw somebody tweeted it out. I think it's like no lie. Him and you do not want to be on this list. I think it's Carr. I think they're the two most sacked. And I know Joe's saying some of that is Burrow's fault, which I think is probably agreeable.
Well, some of it's Burrow's fault. Some of it's the fact that they're having him throw the ball 50 times a game. And, you know, there's obviously O-line issues. And then yesterday, I think it was a super, like, you know, it was like a perfect storm of the Titans getting after it. The Titans, you know, blitzing and showing a bunch of different looks. They're guys winning in the trenches. Burrow holding the ball too long, them throwing the ball a ton, all those things. And that's how you end up with 9 sacks. But I got to say, health-wise, kind of on the side, that you have to feel good. And I did when my quarterback got sacked 7 times in an NFC Championship game. You got to feel good about a guy who just gets knocked down, picks himself up, comes back and wins the game. But of course, you know, we already have a Burrow injury. Knock on wood, we don't get another one for, you know, I don't think there's anybody that's rooting for that. But, you know, like that's the thing. If you can do that, that's certainly elite level quarterbacking.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I'm excited.
34-28 Bengals. I'll be back in LA in 2 weeks for the game.
All right, you heard it here first.
Randy
Ruther.
Can Randy Ruther get a going away hooday?
Got the cigar just for the show.
Very Joe Burrow-esque.
Yeah, buddy. Have fun.
Thanks, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Harambe, Big Sal.
I do love the personalized Bengals Harambe jersey
From the Chinese sweatshop.
You know what I love? I love Prano. For the record, we gotta let our listeners. I had no clue Justin was going to come on. You lied to me before the show. You didn't have your earphones on because you said they weren't working.
Yeah,
and I'm
really, I just needed Justin to be able to hear the show because you know you can't hear it without with the headphones in. 2 people couldn't share the show.
Yeah, and in my head, I'm thinking, wait a second, those are like newer headphones. Those are like a year old. Like those are really good headphones. They don't work. What the fuck?
They work just fine. And I've just put them on. And Andy, we have a lot of football to talk about. And also I want to let you know, 2 Hall of Famers are currently in my text messages, Jesse Stanga and Rental Car Dirtball CT. CT just sending us a Miller Lite saying he's watching the show. Jesse Stanga letting me know that CT dropped us a huge tip in the live chat.
Wow, I'm looking at that.
Just so that we could talk about a couple topics. So whatever those topics are, take those and put those after our football conversations because they need to be discussed. Because as I have said many times on this show, I can very much be bought.
Yeah,
the only people who cannot buy me are the people, that might rhyme with Rud Right. They'll never be able to buy me because I'm a Miller man.
Sure.
But otherwise, my allegiances are up for grabs.
I appreciate that donations. Thank you, CT. I see that's a very
legend.
That's a very, very, very nice donation. So let's hop into the Bills Chiefs game. Like I said, I'm bummed. I literally feel for Josh Allen, and the 13 seconds, it's so inexcusable to me. Like, I know it's Patrick Mahomes, but
no, it's, I mean,
come on, man.
A little credit to Andy Reid for the first time ever having timeouts that he was sitting on. So that's nice. He's sort of learned a lesson the last few years that, when you have a quarterback, when you don't have to take a timeout because your quarterback is vomiting, you can hang on to him. You can hang on to those timeouts and use them late in the game. Listen, it was an insane game after the entire weekend. It was like, first of all, after Saturday, you're like, well, Sunday's not going to be better than Saturday. Sunday was better than Saturday. And then after the first 3 games, you're like, well, this will probably be the stinker, right? It's the best of all of them. I mean, a bananas game. But listen, you could almost argue like the reverse could be true. I mean, like the Chiefs scored and went up in that game, and the Bills get the ball back, and they gave Josh Allen 2 touchdowns on you're like, how are guys just wide open?
Yeah. So they got a minute, 2 seconds left for their final drive, the Bills.
And but they scored, but the 2 teams scored in 52 seconds total before that. Those weren't even the final touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, that final touchdown, obviously, like Romo said, it's like an ankle breaker when the DB fell. It's like a crossover.
Yeah.
By the way, and I tweeted, I'm sick of Romo, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me, and that's fine. I think he's. I'll just say this: you're ruining these games. You are just shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, I was at a bar watching it, no sound. We had,
he doesn't understand that silence is good sometimes, and I'm just gonna say it. I again, people don't have to always agree. This is just personal opinion. I would rather have Buck and Aikman. I would.
I mean, I've never been anti-Joe Buck, and I've never been anti-Troy Aikman. I think that those guys do a good job. And you know what? As a Giants fan and an NFC guy, I watch a lot more of them than I tend to Romo, just like generally sound on and everything. So, yeah, I mean, I've gotten some Romo this postseason, but I've also watched a lot of games in bars this postseason, as my waistline will tell you. I have to get myself in shape here come February. But a lot of games in bars, but to me, I've always kind of been that way where it's like the announcers are there, but I could do with them.
No, I know, but he's just so, it's like, he's just, not only is he so nerdy, in my opinion, he's just so, I don't even want to use the word talkative because he's an announcer. He's supposed to talk, but he doesn't understand. Sometimes, dude, you're an Arrowhead.
Well, there's certainly pace.
There's crowd noise. Let it simmer a little. This is a meal you're cooking. He's just boom, boom, boom. And he's just trying to always say something witty and clever. And anyway, I just want to say that real quick, that I was getting annoyed with him personally since it was such a great game. But back to the end of that game. I think the first mistake, huge mistake. Why do you kick it in the end zone when there's 13 seconds to not take off any time?
Yeah.
And there was Romo said that too, and I agree with him. Obviously,
I mean, I guess that's a double-edged sword too. It's like, okay, you start on the 30 or whatever, and it's 13 seconds, or it's not like the Chiefs have a terrible return game. Like the last thing you want to give up is a big return.
No, I know, but think about it. If you kick it to the 10, let's say they even get it to the 40. Dude, they're wasting half that 13 seconds. They're down to 5 seconds for one play. One play. You're basically saying we can't give up a touchdown for the most part. And to have back-to-back plays, I mean, Kelsey was wide open on the next play, on the second play they ran.
Yeah.
These weren't amazing Patrick Mahomes plays because he didn't have time. He just had to get rid of it. These were just quick hitters.
But that's the Chiefs too, you know, as good as Mahomes is. And I think that this is another legendary performance by Mahomes, a legendary comeback. Like, you could blame the Bills, you could blame the coaching, you could blame whatever. But like, in the end, the guy, I mean, the plays the dude makes. But part of the Mahomes story that no one talks about enough, or maybe, you know, I don't know, the Mahomes haters, if they're out there, talk about, is they're chock full of weapons, man. I mean, that Tyreek Hill touchdown, the Kelsey plays, like that game was saved multiple times over by just like insane, you know, single person performances. And, you know, Josh Allen has a nice receiving core, and Stafford has a nice receiving core, and Burrow has a nice receiving core. But like, the playmaking ability on the Chiefs, for as long as they've been doing it, to have those kind of playmakers, and to have those kind of playmakers that you have a relationship with going back 4 or 5 years, it's a game changer, a literal game changer. I
know. I mean, Tyreek Hill on some of those runs, and then they smartly put him back to return that punt. It's just all those guys.
And that's what we saw. And we saw that in the Niners game too, putting Deebo Samuel back there on the kickoff, putting, you know, got the, like, that's where you are. That's where the NFL is in this postseason. It's like, there's a couple guys on every team who are just absolute game changers. You got to get them the ball any way you can.
Josh Allen threw 9 touchdown passes in 2 games, and he's out. Think about that for a second.
Yeah. 9
touchdowns in 2 games, and he's out. Another fun fact from this game, Gabriel Davis.
Meanwhile, Tom Brady threw, I think, 2 in one of his entire Super Bowl runs, or 1 in his entire Super Bowl runs. And
yeah, Gabriel Davis became the first NFL wide receiver to have 4 touchdown catches in a playoff game.
Yep.
Not even Jerry Rice did that. So, it was amazing offensively. Like I said, I'm legit. The reason I'm so bummed is just because I know, and you see this now with Aaron Rodgers, I just know the limited opportunities you have, right? Like, in my opinion, if the Bills win that, I do believe that they're going to the Super Bowl. You have so many limited opportunities. And if your quarterback plays that good, that's just so tough to bounce back. Do we change the rules?
What?
The overtime rules?
I don't think so. I think we changed them. I mean, it would be great, but like, I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh, the other team must have the ball in that situation. Certainly in the old school field, like you get the ball, you get 2 long plays, you kick a field goal, and the game's over. Sure. That was absurd. And this adjustment is certainly sufficient for regular season. You know, this isn't okay. I mean, to me, it's fine. I mean, you play these whole games. You can win a game by scoring a touchdown. You can essentially win a game by stopping the other team from scoring a touchdown. I feel like it's not the best, but we have a lot of sports rules that are problematic. This isn't top 20 on my list.
But isn't it a bummer that a game like this, Josh Allen doesn't even get the ball?
Sure.
Like, he doesn't even have his chance to match. That sucks. I don't know. Obviously, they've already changed the overtime rules. It's at least better than the sudden death, which was really stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was really rooting for Buffalo and probably the Bills Mafia and Josh Allen.
And there was a ton of dirt balls who were in the Bills Mafia, and you feel terrible for those guys. And I really had no rooting interest either way, and it was a great game for me to watch as a unbiased toward either team fan. Just all the scoring in the second half. I made great money on the game. I bet you'll love this, Andy. I bet on a first half tie. Made that money.
Oh, wow.
And then in the second half, took my first half tie money, put it on Chiefs to win by between 1 and 6 points. hit that money. Thought I lost it 5 different times. Hit that money. So
yeah, that would have been a tough game to have money on.
I've been on a nice gambling run this postseason. I took my entire bankroll last week, put it on Niners over Cowboys. Took my entire bankroll today, put it on Rams over Bucks. Took some of that bankroll and spread it around to weird bets in the Chiefs-Bills game. Both of them hit. It's nice. It's a nice day.
Well, I can't imagine because I would have got all 4 of my picks wrong since I picked incorrectly on every game this week.
I think if you're a dirtball and you're listening to this, you can go back to last episode where I said, I think I like all the underdogs this week except the Chiefs.
No, you like are you talking spread or straight up?
Yeah, spread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like all the underdogs except the Chiefs. And I even said, I thought, and we can talk about that game next if we want. I said, I thought, and I still can't believe it. I said, I like the Niners to cover, but I also give them 0% chance to win the game. I did.
Well, the amount of these games that came down to special teams, if you look, the Bengals game basically did because the kicker was so good. This game came down to special teams, the blocked field goal and the blocked punt. I mean, the Niners did nothing offensively.
Yeah.
The Packers really didn't either, but they did absolutely nothing and they won that game.
Yeah.
I was legit bummed too about that game because I'm like, are they really going to win? Really going to blow this game?
Yeah, it was crazy. But, listen, I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy, but you come down, you score with relative ease a touchdown to open the game. You don't score another touchdown the whole game. We could blame special teams. We could blame defense. We could blame blah, 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 blah. You got to score. You have to score more than 1 touchdown in the game. You have to.
He's now 5-4 in home playoff games.
Yeah.
That's a tough stat right there. And here we are. Is that his last game as a Packer? Like, to me, that's, again, maybe I want the fairy tale ending. Not that he has to win a Super Bowl, but like that's how it could end for Aaron Rodgers.
I was saying this last night. There's so many different possible Aaron Rodgers outcomes, even in this offseason. He could leave, he could retire, or he could stay. And I think the thing that makes me lean toward leave or retire is Packers fans, you guys are kind of the worst. You're kind of the worst to get on the internet after. Like, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, he's going to leave because you guys bitch and whine about him. There are a lot of things went wrong in that game for you to lose it. I just said Aaron Rodgers has to lead that offense to more than 1 touchdown. But you guys act like you'd even be there without Aaron Rodgers. And you wouldn't. So you're going to go on and then trash the guy. He's going to leave because if he leaves eventually, or when he leaves, he's going to leave because Packers fans kind of suck. And I'm not saying all Packers fans, I'm sure but like, dude, you go on the internet last night, Packers fans like, fuck it, I'm done with this. I'm over it. This guy didn't show up. It's like, dude, you guys aren't a playoff team without fucking Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love didn't win you a fucking game. Jordan Love looked awful.
And I'm curious, LaFleur's got 3 straight 13-win seasons. I'd like to see him without Aaron Rodgers. Like, do we really know how good of a coach he is?
No, but you can only coach. You can only coach what you've got.
Sure.
And again, we talked about Mike McCarthy before. Mike McCarthy didn't have 3 13-win seasons in all the time he was in Green Bay. So It's like, you got to get there. And yeah, like, you lose to Tom Brady and the Bucks and they go on to win the Super Bowl. That's one thing. And you do it, but you do it on the road, but you do it in nice weather and like whatever. Like the snow was an equalizer, but like it should have helped you more than it helped the West Coast team.
Yeah. I couldn't believe how that game played out, especially when I had eaten an edible like mid game and into the ending. I'm like, whoa, is this really happening? Or am I just seeing things?
I watched that game sporadically because I went on stage in the middle of that game. First of all, shout out to all the dirtballs who came out to the Eddie Ift Irvine tapings last night. We had a crew. Your best friend, Matt Pedote, Gramps, came to one of the shows. Zach and Blake and Clay, the country music trio came. Shout out to those guys for coming and buying me a couple of yards of Miller Lite. Appreciate you guys. All the folks that came through, shout out to them. But I was on stage and then came back and was like, this is still like, and then I kept missing. Like, I'm like, how did they not score points before the end of the half? How did they not score here? It's like these little things, a block kick, a block punt, a fucking fumble here. It's like, just, they never got shit. I would argue that with the exception of a few key plays, which Vince Lombardi always said, NFL games basically come down to 5 key plays. They outplayed they outplayed the Niners, and they still lost the game.
Well, special teams are so overlooked, but they played such a huge part in those. I'm arguing the special teams, that was the difference in those 2 games, and also turnovers. You got to win the turnover margin. And that's why
the special team in the Niners game, you got a block kick, a block punt, then you get 10 guys on the field for the field goal at the end.
Yeah.
And, props to LaFleur for eating shit after the game and basically saying it was all his fault. But you didn't get it done. Like, to lose that game to the Niners, you lose to a Rams team in the NFC Championship game, fine, or you lose whatever. But like, you let the Niners and a crippled quarterback come in and not have a positive yard passing play for however many quarters, and then fucking you still lose.
I know.
That is a little bit on Aaron Rodgers. Like, dude, you scored another touchdown in that game, you win the game.
Jimmy Garoppolo completed 11 passes.
Yeah.
They only rushed for 106 yards.
Yeah, it was gross. It was a horrible game.
Yeah, it was bad. And that's why I was just bummed on a lot of these outcomes about how it played out. The Rams game was
the only real outcome I was like bummed about. Like, other than that, at least like, you got back and forth games, well played. Like, I thought all the games were pretty good. That's just like kind of a sloppy.
But I also don't like for the Rams case, like, dude, that stadium was like 60%. Like, is it going to be the same way? It was like 60% Niners fans a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, how's it going to be again this week?
Well, I think it'll be more Rams fans, but also it'll still be a lot of Niners fans.
And the turnovers in that game. The Rams,
Rams to me, that entire game, that game, we could talk about, we could be Matty Goldberg. He almost did it. He almost came back. He almost did it once again. Brando, he had you. We could do that whole thing. But to me, the story of the second half of that game had absolutely nothing to do with the Bucs and everything to do with, like, stop acting like now every pass could be the pass that ends the fucking game. And like, you're up 20 points. Stop acting like you throw one pick six here and the game's over. Sean McVay just goes into, we're running on first and second down and taking a shitty shot on third down. And like, just, you're blowing the doors off this team. And I said, I was texting with a buddy of mine. I said, this Rams team has gotten the Niners have this Rams team's number. The Niners have beaten this Rams team how many times in a row? 6 or something like that?
Yeah, it's 5 or 6.
What this Rams team needs, in addition to winning this game, is to cruise and feel good and feel like they have momentum and feel like their offense is unstoppable and feel like they're peaking at the right moment. For you to be up and then just downshift to the point where you let them back, they tie the game. That's crazy to me. It just seems like a very way to try to win. is to like get up big and then just try to steer ball until the clock runs out. You're kicking the shit out of this team.
Yeah.
Just kick the shit out of them.
I know. Just put your foot on their neck. I couldn't believe it.
And props to Tampa Bay for coming back and blah, 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 and making plays and yada, yada, yada. But also, this is the Rams just going into, high school basketball mode where they're up 5 points and they're going to throw it around the outside of the fucking perimeter for, 25 minutes because there's no shot clock. Like, step on their neck. They haven't stopped you at all. Matthew Stafford looks great. When it got to be route time, it should have been, let's get weird with it. Let's get everybody some touches. Let's get everybody some plays.
Well, I think at this point, Matthew Stafford, the whole discussion of him, and I was concerned. I brought up a lot, right? Like some of these games where he just goes through 3 or 4 game stretches where he melts down. I think he's proven that wrong in 2 games. Even if he has a bad championship game, which for the record, I don't expect. I think he's played very well. He's played. I mean, that final pass to Cup, like, first of all, that's not. He's open. That's not an easy pass. He's under duress. That's not an easy pass. And the stat that I told you before the game. So Stafford against the blitz this regular season, he completed 74% of his passes and 9.12 yards an attempt, 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He had the best EPA per play against the blitz of any QB in the last 3 seasons. And Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator for the Bucs, decided to blitz him on that final play. And we all saw how that worked out with Cooper Kupp. So that was a very ballsy and miscalculated decision by Bowles. So, I think you have to find a healthy balance. I hate prevent, but I also dude, you're just bringing a blitz on this guy. Look at the weapons he has.
And then you blitz him, and then you're also not blitz him and leave somebody else wide open, but you're gonna leave his security blanket with no help.
Yeah, I do like I'm not the Niners. I do like the Rams to win. They were up big last time they played. They just got to protect Stafford, man. That's what it's all going to boil down to, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Can they protect him? But right now,
it's also tough to beat that team 3 times in a season.
Yeah, it's a good point too. Now,
tell me this. This was my take on it, and then obviously there was a comeback that happened, and I know, those fans of Tom Brady, the former Patriots fans who are now all Bucs fans, apparently, will maybe have a different opinion. But did you feel at any point in that game that Tom Brady looked like he had a little bit of lethal weapon going on? He had a little, I'm getting too old for this shit. He seemed. There was some body language to me that said, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Well, he was missing throws.
And he was laying on the ground after sacks, and he
started terribly. He's looked old a few times to me this year.
Blood spitting in refs' faces because he didn't get his first call in fucking almost 3 decades of football.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. It's not like this was a big. Obviously, they were decimated by injuries, but this wasn't like a big Tom Brady led. I'm just going to be honest. My take was the Rams just keep fumbling the ball. I mean, Akers fumbled the ball twice, right by the goal line where they should have punched it in. Then obviously the huge fumble to get them back. Now they have to score, and they did when they had to, the Bucs. But I put that comeback more on the Rams play calling and turnovers. And it is.
I mean, there are, I agree with you. There are also people, adults, full-on adults that watch professional sports all the time that believe that Tom Brady wills those things to happen. That when you're the GOAT, you can force a running back to fumble when you're not even on the field. There are people who believe Tom Brady has. That's why he is the greatest, because the killer instinct.
Well,
he uses Jedi mind tricks to force guys to line up off sides before he throws picks.
I mean, look, he's what, 44 years old. I mean, it could be wild if both Brady and Aaron Rodgers hang it up together and go out on those kind of, non-glorious or not even conference championship games. So we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He won his chip with the Bucs. He solidified his status for me, of course, as far as the best.
The thing about Tom Brady so the only thing that gives me a thought that he might retire is he looked like he wanted to quit at points today, in my opinion. But the flip side of that coin is I feel like Tom Brady wants to go out on top, which could make for one of the most awkward ends of a great career ever. Like how long, I'll just say it. I don't think Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl. I don't think that's a huge leap.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy take.
It's not a crazy take, but Tom Brady might stick around thinking he's going to win another Super Bowl. And it's like, dude, how many, it might just be time.
I mean, look, the Rams.
I know he led the league in passing this year and how dare, but so it'll be yet another year where the league's leading passer does not win the Super Bowl.
The Rams were the better team, overall team. The Rams killed them in LA. The Rams were up 27-3 today. A lot of bad plays again, let them back in that game. I think you should just retire. I don't know. Do what you want, man. You already got all the records. You got the 7 Super Bowls, 10 Super Bowl appearances. I mean, do your thing. I don't know. How about this? Brady retires. The Bucs bring back Jameis Winston.
Or the Bucs bring in Aaron Rodgers.
That'd be funny too. Did you see that Sean Payton hasn't committed to it next year?
I'm not surprised by that.
Why do you say that?
I mean, I just think Sean Payton a little bit. So I know it's not a popular opinion. I think Sean Payton is an overrated coach. Now, I say that because I think people, again, have a very high opinion of Sean Payton, and I have a high opinion of Sean Payton, but I think the general opinion of Sean Payton, offensive genius, blah, 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 blah. So here's the thing. I think everybody is aware of how people see them. And if you're a guy like Sean Payton, you had your Super Bowl. If you don't think you're winning the Super Bowl anytime soon, sort of Tom Brady, I think Tom Brady wakes up every day thinking, I can win the Super Bowl. I can win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, he does.
I think Sean Payton maybe doesn't think the Saints have a Super Bowl run in them in the next 5 years. So if he sticks around and in the next 5 years he doesn't win a Super Bowl, I'm not the kind of person that says legacy, you can make your legacy worse. That's not how I rate people. But I think a lot of people and certainly media and social media and whatever do. So it's almost every year Sean Payton sticks around and doesn't win, he hurts himself kind of. So New Orleans loves him. He's a hero there. They have priests, they have saint candles with him on it and everything. If you don't think you can win anytime soon, do you just hang him up and go down a legend?
Or maybe he was officially ruined by Kevin James playing him in a movie.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Well, how did that happen?
What a slap in the face.
How did that happen? Isn't Sandler producing that movie?
Well,
didn't he do that?
I think you just answered your own question, didn't you? How did it happen? Well, the people who auditioned for the role were him, Spade, Half-Blind Swartzen.
Yeah, you're out of control tonight, Brano. But isn't it like a feel-good movie?
Schneider. It could have been Rob Schneider as coach.
Kevin
He's
Nealon?
Listen, guys, we can do it. We have Drew Brees. We're gonna onside kick to start the second half. We could do it. And you're like, are you Mexican or Cajun? He's like, I'm Rob Schneider.
I just don't I don't I don't understand the movie.
It was either Kevin James or the cross-eyed guy. Cross-eyed Sean Payton.
Man, who's the cross-eyed guy?
Remember the guy who was like the big
Oh,
guy.
Yeah. In all his movies. Yeah. I don't know, but it would be interesting for that. And I wonder if something like that would affect Brady staying. Dude, that's a wild take that Aaron Rodgers to the Bucks.
Or it could have been the Dante guy. Drew Brees is fucking awesome. We're going to win the fucking Super Bowl with Drew Brees. Oh man, the cast
So
characters.
What are you expecting in this Rams Niners game? You think the Rams will win, right?
I think the Rams will win, but I think it'll be close. I just think that these teams know each other so goddamn well, and the Niners have their number. But like, you don't see a team win. Like the idea of winning 3 times in a row, 7 times in a row, whatever. I think the Niners. I would have said the spread should be 6 or 7 or whatever, but then the Rams going like, I think the end of that Rams game fucking hurts them. But at the same time, dude, the game's inside. We're Jimmy, unless there's some sort of oil slick spill. They're like, oh, disaster has struck SoFi. A cartoon style oil spill has happened, and now the game will be played on a fucking roller rink. Like, you're not going to get the help you got in Green Bay. Now, the Niners can run the ball and the Niners can pressure and whatever, but I just think the Rams win.
Can you imagine if Jimmy G went to 2 Super Bowls? Like, and I'm not saying he's a bad
Italian
quarterback.
community,
Yeah.
as the Italian community, we're proud,
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback.
Jimmy Gabagool.
And his players, by the way, they were not helping him out. There were some bad drops to start that game yesterday, but I mean, really? Jimmy G? Yeah, we don't want that. I don't want that. No, I already know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter because I'm done. It's going to be Niners Bengals. It's going to be Niners Bengals round 3. The Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to be out $1,000.
Who has the Super Bowl this year? What broadcast?
Collinsworth, NBC.
Do they?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Chris Collinsworth calling the Super Bowl. Chris Collinsworth, I'm here. It's going to be a reverse Walt. He's going to be like, from here in SoFi, I can see Andy Ruther's house. I can see the Smut Studio from here. He lives right over there.
By the way, people think I'm just going to hop on. I don't get it. I don't get the dirt balls, or I don't get people like, wouldn't that be worse if I just hopped on? Wouldn't that make me a worse person?
So rank it for me. Rank who in order of who do you want to win the Super Bowl in order 1 to 4?
Well, I want the Bengals least because I don't want to lose $1,000.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay.
Niners next. Actually, I wouldn't put Niners next.
You'd rather the Niners win than the Chiefs?
Yeah. And then
Now,
Rams the most.
Why is that? Why Niners over Chiefs?
I don't really care, to be honest.
Okay. See, to me, it's always like, I would say Rams, Bengals.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
But also Chiefs, Niners last for sure. Just because I just don't think, I
don't want to watch them in the Super Bowl.
I don't want to watch them in the Super Bowl. So I certainly don't want them to, I don't want them to be in the Super Bowl. So therefore I don't want them to win the Super Bowl. But then it's also like, the start to Mahomes' career is pretty insane. And listen,
wild.
I love it when guys come and go, the Favres and the Russes and the Rodgerses and the Breezes and the whoever's come and go, and they show you how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. And Eli Manning walks around, with 2 of them. I like that for me, but also Mahomes is the kind of guy where it's like, you want the guy to get his due, and it's hard to win a Super Bowl. So it's like, you never know what can happen. This could be the last Super Bowl Mahomes ever plays in if he gets in.
So he'll be the first quarterback to have 4 straight, or no, I think ever. because so the Patriots went to 8 straight AFC championships, but
That's right. What you said.
but this will be 4 straight home.
4 straight home games for the AFC Championship.
No one's ever done that.
Right.
And I don't know if that includes the NFC as well, but no one's done for sure AFC. I don't know if it's conference championships in general. 4 straight home. He's 7-1 now at home. That one loss to the Patriots.
When Brady put the guy off sides.
Isn't there a part of you that, I don't know. The Bengals had a tough fought, like hard-nosed game. Kansas City won a wild one. Do you think there's any sort of letdown for Kansas City?
Yeah, sure. Dude, I truly believe any given Sunday.
This year is so nuts. This was the craziest year, and it's playing out.
That's why I said the thing with the Bengals is like, I almost think when you're on a Bengals run like this, it's like the wilder, the better. The wilder, now go to Buffalo and play in a fucking snow game and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like it almost seems too kind of perfect. That's like, oh, now you get a rematch against the Chiefs. You just played them a couple weeks ago. You won. Now you got to go to their place. And
you're saying it seems too perfect for Kansas City.
Yeah. It seems like for if Cincinnati's going to have this wild, 2000 Giants-esque run out of nowhere, it's like you almost want it to be the most difficult path that could possibly be. And then play, you almost want the Bills in the snow and then Rodgers in the Super Bowl or something like that, or Brady in the Super Bowl. But now it'd be like Mahomes but that's certainly not an easy win.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, it's all going to boil down all these games. I'd say all these games. You just got to protect the quarterback. I mean, you're not going to win when you let your guy get sacked 9 times. I said it that game. I don't know if you remember last time. I said
4.
I say the Titans win if they get to him 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was 4 or 5. And obviously I was wrong, but Tannehill was bad. I would probably set it around there for this game too. And winning the turnover battle. What was amazing about that Chiefs-Bills game today is neither team turned the ball over.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was just great play after great play. And the Bengals, I don't know, they can't match totally the speed. The Bengals will be able to match the speed pretty well, though.
Yeah, no one matches the speed of the Chiefs. Actually. But yeah, it's certainly that more of that style of game. Sure.
And do you expect a high or low scoring Rams-Bucks game? I'm sorry, Rams-Niners.
I think it'll be middle. I think it's like, 24-21.
Yeah.
Lowish.
Do you want to get to some topics? I mean, CT dropped us a nice donation.
Sure.
He's just said quick topics. Go Cougs. Clay is back. How dumb is John Stockton and Who Day? I think we've addressed the Who Day part of the show.
Yeah. Did Andy Ruther give Randy Ruther, who I think might still be in the other room watching this on TV?
It's a very Randy Ruther thing to do.
Did Andy Ruther officially give Randy Ruther a Who Day?
Do I have to give him a Who Day?
I don't know. Do you?
By the way, that's the one annoying text I get. 2 people just texting me Who Day. Dude, I got a text from somebody who literally, I was like, who is this person yesterday? I just blocked them. I just literally blocked them. I saw their name and didn't know who they were. They were in my contacts. And
give me my Who Day. Hey,
is that
Andy,
part?
I wore this sweatshirt for you also.
Is that part of the
bankrupt team in Arizona, buddy?
Is that part of the deal?
It's part of the deal. Give the man his Who Day.
Who Day.
Yeah. All right.
I think Randy Ruther's still here.
I was like, I think he's living on your couch.
Yeah. He was like, we're just hanging out for 20 minutes. I'm coming out to do a quick 20 minutes on the podcast. Now he's just watching the podcast in the other room, drinking Miller Lights, which honestly, legendary.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So CT had a couple topics, but I think we've addressed most of them. I mean, The John Stockton thing, to be honest, it was just he's not going to games anymore. It was over wearing masks.
Did you see the quote?
That's
Dude,
what
John Stockton. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this. Like,
what was his quote?
I've seen some wild conspiracy. He said 100 professional athletes have died from the vaccine.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did, dude.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
Shut up.
A wild, like, talk about something no one saw coming. No one saw in the great pool of who was crazier that in the Malone Stockton pick and roll duo, the guy who fucks 14-year-olds dresses like a fucking truck driver, fights in the WWE, and literally drives 18-wheelers was the least crazy of the two guys. No one saw that coming. The guy who believed he could get AIDS from kissing Magic Johnson or being on the floor with him. No one had in their great crazy pool in the sky that the other dude was actually crazier.
Okay, I'm reading it now. So he was in a documentary about the vaccine.
Because why not? You got to get, if there's anybody who's taking you on vaccine.
His quote is, with somebody trying to call in. I don't think they'll be able to connect. I think that might have been CT. I don't think we can connect. We've tried that before. Okay. Where am I at here? Dude, I can't connect with you, bro. I'll try it. CT.
Yo.
Is this CT?
Yeah, it's CT.
Brandon,
Am I on? This is the first live call ever to be on air.
Not the first live call ever, but your first live call ever. In full radio mode. Please turn down your radio. Oh, maybe he can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you not hear Prano? Can you not hear Prano when he's talking to you?
No, I can't hear Prano, but I can hear you.
Okay.
I need. Sorry, I'm watching you guys on YouTube. I need to turn down the YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not. I mean, I can hear you.
How many beers you had tonight, man?
He's litty.
I mean, I've been doing dry January on weekdays, and I have been doing a lot of Miller Lights on the weekends. So
good for you.
Plenty.
Are you calling a comment about this John Stockton situation?
Oh yeah. For sure. Being from Spokane, John Stockton is kind of a legendary figure in Spokane, Washington, but we all know he's just a fucking asshole. Like it's been known from the beginning that John Stockton is a piece of shit.
So I'm just now reading this. I guess he said that I think it's highly recorded out there. 150. He believes it's over 100 professional dead. I can't say read it without laughing. It's over 100 professional athletes dead. Hold on, I got to read the full
field.
Yeah, I got to read the full quote. The prime of their life, dropping dead that are vaccinated. He says right on the pitch, right on the field, right on the court. You got to laugh. It's pretty wild.
Oh, for sure. Like if you were talking to somebody that told you that, you would send them to a mental institution. You'd be like, yo, listen, hey, John, I appreciate, the time talking to me, but I think you need to go find some help. Because, who are people covering this up? Is ESPN covering up the deaths of these athletes?
It's like it's like the fucking guys running on the field. They just won't show it.
I can't handle it. I mean, the guy's from my hometown. He went to prom with my aunt. By the way.
We got family connection. He went to prom with your aunt.
Was your aunt 12 at the time?
Yeah. So there's a private high school in Spokane called Gonzaga Prep, where my mom went to high school and her sisters and the whole family went there. And John Stockton took my aunt to prom, and luckily didn't work out because I never want to be related to that dude. That guy is a.
Well, hold on. I want some prom details. Let's get to this prom real quick. Like,
Well,
do we know? Do we know? Like,
I don't know too much.
you need to find out what the date was. You need to find out.
I can do some research. Hey, Andy, I'll do my own research in this. Fine, I'll come back with some more
Did
results
Stockton
later.
get any points in the paint that night? We need to know that. I know it's.
I guarantee he maybe wore some short shorts. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, did he show those white hairy legs? Did he show up with those white hairy legs? By the way, I love that.
Yeah, maybe
you can't hear Prano. This is what
I know.
makes this whole
So
thing
many
funny.
jokes just
I
being
cannot
left on
hear
the
Brandon.
table
I see him on the YouTube doing some sort of lewd gesture with the finger in the hole.
Hey,
but this is what I've been wanting. Can I say something real quick?
yeah, of course.
I've been wondering this the entire time that no one's ever called in. You've never taken a live call on the podcast because you're always kind of answering phone calls. Oh, look, should I answer this? No, I need to always miss it. And I knew I'd call in a couple times and try to get on.
Well,
but now I may have started something that's not great. I don't want the other. No. Now I see what Joe's doing right there. That's rude, Joe. But I'm sorry, but this is fun. I like this.
hey, you know what happens? I'm glad. I like it too. What happens is it'll disconnect when I'll hit the call, and I don't know. A lot of times it goes to voicemail. But yeah, hey, it's fitting that you're calling. It's our 800th episode. We've been doing this for almost 8 years. Next week will be officially 8 years. The AFC and NFC Championship games. Our first episode was after the famous Richard Sherman interview after the 2014 NFC Championship. So there's some quick dirty sports history. I got to ask you, as a longtime listener and as a Hall of Fame dirtball.
Oh yeah.
What are some of your favorite dirty sports moments?
Oh man, some of my favorite dirty sports moments. First of all, I always loved that. I'm sorry, Andy, you're the best man. I've never actually met you in person, but when Joe came to Seattle, we took him to a Mariners game that was awesome. Met a lot of dirt balls there, and Joe actually came over to my apartment. Met my cat. That was funny. We're drunk. Too many Miller Lights.
Wait, you got a cat, not a dog? Whoa!
You have multiple cats, I think.
CT, why?
I got two cats.
Why,
See?
bro? Why?
Because dogs are a whole chore and they take a lot to train. And before I retired,
When you meet CT in person, Andy, you'll realize he's a cat.
I didn't have time.
He's a cat. Guy.
Cats are the easiest thing to. You just get a cat. I've been sitting right next to my cat right now. You just watch him, give him some food, give him some water.
By the way, Randy Ruther, a cat.
He watches sports with me, but dogs are tough to train. Man. I didn't have the time before I retired to train a dog. Hey, also living in Seattle, when I lived in my apartment, I didn't want to confine a dog to my apartment versus having to give it a yard and stuff like that. So
I gotcha. They just don't. You should have known that. But that's a whole other discussion. Hey, let me. Because we do got to keep this show moving, kind of, because it's late. And
for sure.
And I have to actually watch. Speaking of training a dog, I gotta watch
Andy just kicking him off here.
No, I'm not kicking him off. I'm just saying I gotta be up early. I got a 4-year-old I gotta watch the next 2 days when my brother's out of town. So I got daddy daycare. CT, you're currently in retirement. Are there any plans to do the Michael Jordan and come back wearing the 45 anytime soon?
I would highly recommend just to be retired. I mean, like, you guys seem to be living your best lives, but low key, I got interviews lined up with a minor league baseball team here in my city I'm living, the Tri-Cities Dust Devils.
What are they called?
So the Tri-Cities Dust Devils. Russell Wilson played for this team, and they're a Double-A affiliate of the Angels. So I got a little bit of, I might Nick Yardley. I might reach out to you, my brother. And they're not as cool as the Sod Pools, but I'm trying to get in the sports world here, fellas, and we'll see if I can get a dirty sports gathering going here in the old Tri-Cities. We got a lot of golf. We got a lot of wine. It'd be a good time.
I'll be there.
Well, CT, Joe says he'll be there. We appreciate you calling in. Hall of Fame dirtball. You're a legend. You enjoy the rest of your night and have some drinks for us.
Oh, absolutely. I'm drinking a Miller Lite right now.
Love it.
Fellas, you're the best. You got me through a lot of tough times in the podcast world. You guys are great, and love you both. Love you, boys. Stay dirty. Fuck the Huskies. Go Cougs.
Love it. We love you too, CT. Have a good night.
See ya.
The live call in from a fucking shit can CT on a Sunday night. The Sunday night pods are always wild.
They are.
John Stockton
Jeez.
murdering CT's aunt's vagine like she's an athlete and he's the vaccine.
I knew. I was like, Prano's got to be crushed here, and he can't get Stockton, one-on-one on jokes.
I'm
Stockton
Stockton coming off of like hard pick and rolls in the prom limo.
I wonder if he finger banged at least. Did he smash? I was trying to be, not too rude.
He was the king of just, passes into tight places, just small little openings. You'd find a cutting Karl Malone on his way to have sex.
By the way, I can't stop laughing the thought of athletes dying dead on the pitch and on the court,
and no one reporting it or ever getting a single picture of it.
Look, man, I mean, you gotta laugh at you see wild things and you hear a lot of stuff, and at this point, I'm over just everything in general. But that's probably one of the funnier takes I've ever heard.
Based on his COVID statement history and the Gonzaga alum, do you think Schiavelli agrees hundreds of people die from the vaccine? Just hundreds of athletes dropping dead on the fields.
I bet there's a good chance he thinks it's true.
Schiavelli's like, I've met Stockton. He's right. I'm helping him with this study. Shaboring.
That was a good little call, man.
Good little call. Nice little Sunday night action.
Dude, and this wouldn't be Dirty Sports without I forgot to play this one. I'm gonna play this one.
Okay.
This is a dirtball. This is a dirtball who saw a Skyline ad. But he's not from Cincinnati, which makes me think, were they doing a national commercial? So I have to play this. This is very Dirty Sports-esque.
What's up, guys? This is Joey from Minnesota. I'm watching the Titans and Bengals game, and I was trying to decide who I'm cheering for, and I really couldn't pick. But at halftime, I was like, it's a close game. Bengals have sucked forever. I've always liked the colors ever since I was a kid. Joe Burrow's dope. I would love to see them do something this year. I hope they win this game. And then seconds later, after I made this decision, a commercial for Skyline Chili came on. And I noticed after all of the years of listening to Dirty Sports and how many hours of free advertisement you guys have done for Skyline Chili, I noticed I had never actually seen what it looks like. Now that I've seen it, I have to cheer for the Titans. I mean, what the hell is that? I wanted to cheer for Cincinnati, but after that Skyline commercial, burn it to the ground on some Dark Knight Rises shit. I'm about to go there dressed as Bane and just blow up bridges across Cincinnati until we get that shit shut down. Condoms are for chopped potatoes under the most disgusting cheese I've ever seen in my life with chili. Burn it to the ground.
Potatoes in there.
Go Titans.
Yeah, I don't know the potatoes thing. By the way, I love that he's like, I'd never seen it. Like he couldn't just Google it. Like all these years, he's wondered, what does Skyline look like? My man does not know. You just Google.
Well, I think a lot of people, it's like, well, it probably just looks like chili, and then you actually see it, and you're like, no, it looks like dog food.
So, the dirt balls, I've realized, they get really worked up on food stuff.
Yeah,
I've noticed. Like
it's a millennial thing.
Like if we talk about a trend or a theme throughout 8 years of this show, it's definitely.
I mean, think about one of, I would say on the Hall of Fame ballot, not a Hall of Famer, but Kyle Aronofsky spends his entire life eating pork roll, egg, and cheeses and putting it on an Instagram blog. Like these dirtballs are committed to their food.
Somebody started a dirtball who loves Subway started his own Twitter handle, and he posts pictures and he tweets at me and you every time he eats a Subway sandwich
Yeah.
to somehow rub it in our face.
Yeah. He loves Subway. We're like, dude, I know you're like trying to get one on us, but you're also giving yourself probably some sort of parasite. Stop eating yoga mats.
Well, we got another call about food. This one's
Oh,
coming
boy.
hot. This one's coming hot at me. This is from one of our Mexican dirtballs.
Hey boys, Emiliano here, longtime dirtball. I'm catching up on episodes, and I gotta be honest. For the first time in my 6 years of listening to the show, I have been left speechless and disappointed. Style and chili has been brought up as ridiculous and offensive to the Italians and the Greeks. I'm not Italian or Greek, so I don't take offense to it. Still think it's kind of ridiculous. But last week, when Ruther said he made mac and cheese tacos, I was let down on this attack of Mexican cuisine. What are you doing, Ruther? Fix your life.
Attack on Mexican
Condoms
cuisine.
offer mac and cheese tacos.
Unbelievable. I think was that Emiliano?
I don't know. Was it
I think he said Emiliano. Who's
an
done some-
attack on his Mexican people, on his Mexican heritage?
So there's this place in Cincinnati, and they're expanding. They're not just Cincinnati. I think they're expanding. This place called Agave and Rye that has bomb tacos. It's called Agave and Rye. I'm looking at their menu now. A lot of these tacos will have like mac and cheese on. So like they're like massive tacos, but they will have like here's one. It's called the Rooster. It has crispy chicken, mac and cheese, Nashville hot sauce, sweet pickles. Like they put this on these huge tacos. Like I've had this one. The cousin
What
of
does that
the,
even mean? Huge tacos, like on huge tortillas?
no, it's like huge taco shells. It's a double shell.
Hard
though.
taco shells.
Yeah, but also they'll have a soft one in it. Like this one's
Double
really,
decker tacos.
yeah, like this one's really good. I've had the cousin of Vinny, seasoned ground beef, tomato vodka sauce, mac and cheese, white cheddar, tobacco onions, queso cushion. Like, I'm just saying, man, don't knock it till you try it. Like, I'm not out here really defending Skyline at this point because it definitely gives me some bad shits. But like, I'm not trying to offend the Mexican people, man. Dude, you're in Cincinnati. Come visit. I'll take you some places that make mac and cheese tacos. Quality of life, son. Let's play a couple more calls and then we can wrap this up. Okay, this is we gotta get JT from Jersey. He's always calling. Actually, yeah, we'll do this and then we'll do Kyle Aronofsky
No, there he
as
is.
well.
Speak of the devil.
What's that?
I just mentioned Kyle Aronofsky.
Yeah, we'll get a call from him. Let's do JD from Jersey first.
Dirty Sports. It's JT from Jersey, the number one D3 cross country dirtball, and got a question for you guys, especially for you, Andy, on the topic of running. What is your
This isn't actually. Let me play another call he has, because he wants to become our official D3 cross country dirtball, and this is intertwined in that.
Andrew Ruther. This is your boy, JT from Jersey, and I am staking my claim as the number one Division III cross-country track and field dirtball. And I completely agree with you. 25, way better than fucking 80 and humid any day of the week. I can confirm that from years of running, so I agree with you. And I want to take this one step further, Andrew, and I would like to propose an Andy Ruther spring marathon. You know, I need it. I need it badly. And I'm going to be honest, I need it sub 3 hours. I know it's in you. I know deep down you can make it work. And I would love to see Andy Ruther crush that 2:59:59 marathon, baby. Who knows? Maybe even I'll road trip out, fucking run it with you. I've never done a road marathon, but I've done a trail ultra marathon. So I think I can handle it, and I think we should do the Ruther Breaking 3. So let's make it happen. Stay dirty, fellas, and condoms are for Joe Bartnick.
Dude, you lost your mind. Now, normally you're calling in high. By the way, I'm impressed because you always sound stoned. Again, debunking stereotypes. You're a runner, but you also like weed. So that's a stereotype debunked. They always say stoners are lazy. Dude, you realize 3? Come on, you're a runner. I couldn't do 4.
You've never broken 4 in your marathons.
Dude, the average pace for a 3-hour marathon is 6 minutes, 50-second mile for 26 miles.
Do you average that if you ever run like 5 miles?
I've never pushed myself like that. I just did a half marathon at 8 minutes and 28 seconds a mile. That's only 13 miles. 26 miles? I would legit have to like turn it into like a job in training. I don't know, man. I'm 40, bro. I'm old.
I'm a man.
You're probably young, early 20s, 19, which is great because you're doing condoms for Joe Bartnick. You've been listening since you were like 13. I mean, that's just, I appreciate the pep talk for me to do that, but come on.
Driving 26 miles in LA is hard in 3 hours.
Yeah. Let's start with me trying to get a marathon under 4. Okay. I mentioned it. Kyle Aronofsky, another
pork roll yid.
Another legendary dirtball from Jersey.
We're gonna have to start doing some shows in Jersey.
What's going on, boys? Kyle Aronofsky calling back once again from beautiful Toms River, New Jersey, home of the 1998 Little League World Series champions. I'm sitting here watching the Monday night playoff game. Odell with, I think at this point, 50 yards and a touchdown, and just had a nice throw down the field to Akers. And really, this and the Bengals win, it just shows how real the Ruther curse is. And I think, Andy, you can really profit off of this. You should start doing cameos, and people can write in or whatever and pay you to, say that they're not going to do something, there's just no way that you're going to get this promotion at work. It's just not going to happen. You don't have the experience. You don't have the intangibles. Just can't happen, You can even go further. There's just no way that you're going to wake up tomorrow with an 8-inch cock. It can't happen. It's never happened. It will never happen. I guarantee you that dude's going to wake up the next morning with a fucking hog. Condoms are for the Dallas Cowboys.
Andy, you should get on Cameo for the curse.
Well, look, I saw there's somebody that posted something on Reddit. And the thing about the curse, if it's real, I think it's still debatable.
I mean, thank you for reviving Odell Beckham's career. That's for sure.
The thing is, it has to be legit.
You have to really mean it.
And that's what somebody said on Reddit, which was a good point, because somebody had said that on Reddit, like, yo, man, somebody wrote, Ruther, if you're reading this, reply telling me I'll never become anything. I'll never make $1 the rest of my life. And then people are like, well, dude, he's got to really believe it.
But you know what? I'm not even sure that's true. Like, I think at some point this year, you realized the Bengals were going to win a playoff game. And you're like, not while Mike Brown's alive. You doubled down.
I'm not even predicting a winner next week. Is that a bullshit cop out?
No, you do whatever you want.
I mean, I would like to see these 5 big Ruther curses. I mean, the Bengals is one.
Somebody's out there for sure. We have these. We have them. Dude, you did it for there's been
okay. I did predict the Warriors would not lose that series.
Didn't you predict? Didn't you? Wasn't one of the original ones like Virginia's never gonna fucking? You went hard at Tug's Virginia team.
Yeah, I might have said that. No, but I know when the
yeah,
I know when Toronto won, I was like, no way the Warriors lose this series. When the Warriors were up at some point,
right?
I know for sure. I was like, no fucking way they lose this series.
Oh, there's definitely 5 no way Andy Ruther calls that came true.
Hey man, maybe it's real. I don't know. Call in. 310-359-8365. Started on Reddit.
I feel like it might already be on it. I feel like there was a list made at one point.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, look, I got more in me.
Andy, do me a favor. Say that I'm absolutely not selling out all of my shows in House of Comedy, British Columbia this weekend in Canada.
Oh, you're definitely not selling out Canada.
No way. Not all of them. Right?
No, that's Vancouver.
Yeah. House of Comedy, BC this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got a show Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 Sunday. I've already been reached out to by a couple of BC dirtballs. Hope you guys can make it to the show. Big T Dobbs looks like he's going to have some places for me to watch football. We're watching American football, NFC, AFC Championship Sunday in Canada. Wild. I've watched Championship weekend in a lot of crazy places, but Canada might be the craziest. So come out and see some shows.
Nice.
And then also I'll be in Chicago and Milwaukee in February. Also at the end of February, the San Luis Obispo Comedy Festival. All these dates and more at joeprano.com. And follow me on all social media at Joe Prano, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, except for Twitter at Fix Your Life. Thank you.
Yeah, at the Dirty Sports and everything. Made it 800. It's wild.
800.
I mean, I'm not gonna it's kind of like athletes, act like we've been here before, but
we've done more podcast episodes than anyone has ever hit home runs in Major League Baseball. No one ever got to 800, Andy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just thinking the Smut Studio. I will remember you. I miss it. At times I miss it. Started in the Smut Studio, then we went to Sideshow, back to the Smut Studio.
Got my Sideshow shirt on inside out right here.
Yeah. I wish I still had that one.
Soft shirt.
What's the soft shirt? I would love a Where Are They Now? Everybody from Sideshow, including the African security guy who always let us up.
Oh, yeah. He was the best guy that worked the whole place.
I don't know if you remember. I feel like he always forgot who we were, even though we were there twice a week. You're like, you don't recognize us, buddy?
He's like, where are you going? We're like, Sideshow.
And I would love to know what blogs Maria is up to and writing.
I think Maria lives inside the demilitarized zone in like Portland or something like that. Like I think during the BLM protests, she like took up in that like weird thing. Remember when they like took over the Capitol or whatever?
If I made a list of like women, there's been
maybe
a few.
She went the other. Remember the girl who stormed the Capitol in like DC? It was like, what do you mean? It's a revolution. We're storming the Capitol.
If I made a list of women that have hated me, and there's some women out there who hated me.
There's a lot of them, but no one more than Maria.
No one more than Maria. Like Maria hated me from day one.
She was woke before woke was woke. She really liked.
Dude, she was a trailblazer.
She fucking hated you.
She
was like, this guy is everything that's wrong. She was talking about I think your relationship with Maria coined the term the patriarchy. She's like, we need a name for this nonsense. We need a name for this horrific historical incident. I need a word for what Randy Ruther embodies.
She was a trailblazer because every woke, like uber woke white girl has like dyed blue hair, which she had.
Yeah.
Like you'll notice online, every girl who's going like crazy with some wild, weird shit, who's like uber woke, is like a white girl. And like Maria, a little chunkier too. I'm just gonna call it as it is. It's always a girl who's
never stopped. You learn nothing.
It's like a girl who's a little fatter.
Oh no,
white girl. She's got the blue. I'm just saying. Am I not wrong? Every video, and you've never seen like a girl who's like, oh, she's really attractive with blue hair. It's not. I bet you I could go by an audio. I don't know if you remember. I would like ask her questions during the show, and she hated being on air.
Yeah. She hated you.
She I don't know a girl who's despised me more than her. I did go to my one buddy's wedding who got married, and I learned afterwards at one point that night, literally the one girl, I was in the wedding. This was like 12 years ago. And all the women in the wedding party were like, the one was like, just so you know, we all don't like you. Like, just said it to my face. Okay. Appreciate the honesty. But
that was the original. You showed up that night and you told your friends, you're like, I'm going to bang all the bridesmaids. And then at the end of the night, they're like, just so you know, we all hate you. And the Ruther curse was born.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. I remember it vividly. But all jokes aside, Dirtballs, seriously, thank you for all the support all these years. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So much love to the Dirtball fam, because it is real and it is strong as ever. So thank you to everyone who's ever listened or supported our show. On that note, I think it's time to wrap it up, Joe Prano.
Have fun with your nephew.
I will. You guys have a great start to your week. We made it 800. Thanks again.